Hello, this is Richard Moraes, the editor of Barron's Penta. We just had a fantastic evening, Penta evening at the Lambs Club in New York. I'm now with Mark Hoover, Penta's private aviation correspondent. And I'm going to, Mark, tell me, what are some of the trends that you're seeing now in the private aviation business?
The big one is long-range large cabin. That is the absolute biggest trend right now. It's more than 80% of the market by dollar volume. The second, on the light jet side of it, we've got unique airplanes coming to market that offer a unique value proposition in terms of flexibility, their ability to use short runways, their ability to carry outsized items like motorbikes, ATVs, things of that nature.
And what are some of the brands and manufacturers of the long range that are catching your attention?
Well, the king of the long range right now that's currently in production is the Gulfstream 650 ER. It's got a range of 7,000
Which you've written about for us.
Yes. It's got a range of 7,000 nautical miles and a top speed of 0.925 Mach, or around 610 miles an hour. It's a very fast airplane, much faster than the airliners. So that's the king of the hill right now. We've got other new long-range airplanes coming to market. The Bombardier Global 7000 and 8000 series, and also the Falcon 8X.
Okay, and what about at the light jet?
The light jet market, Honda Jet obviously is just wrapping up its certification program. It's already got provisional certification. It's got one of the largest cabins of a light jet ever brought to market. And the other really hot thing in the light space right now is the Pilatus PC-24. It's going to be able to take off from very short airfields on grass and carry outsized personal items like your dirt bike, like your Harley, like your ATV, with a quick change reconfigurable cabin.
Now, Pilatus is the name of a mountain in the Alps.
Yes.
Who makes the Pilatus?
The Pilatus is actually a private company. Believe it or not, it's a $1.3 billion a year company that specialized up until this point in turboprops, making utility airplanes, legacy airplanes like the Pilatus Porter that was very popular in Vietnam. Lately, the Pilatus PC-12, single engine pressurized. And now it's moving into the PC-24 twin-engine jet.
And is it an American company?
No, it's a Swiss company.
It is a Swiss company. Okay. Now, I'm hearing a lot about maintenance. Tell me what's going on in the maintenance field.
If you own an airplane right now that isn't on some kind of hourly maintenance plan for the airframe and the engine, or maybe the entire aircraft, that airframe is going to have significantly less resale value in the marketplace. And it's also a great way just to protect yourself against unanticipated expenses. Airplanes are like anything else mechanical, they break. What you don't want is to be surprised by a really big bill for $500,000, $1 million. This keeps you from being surprised and maintains the value of your asset.
If someone wants to get into the private aviation space, they want to start buying something for themselves, start flying privately, but they're a little intimidated and afraid, what is your advice to them?
Well, get used to writing checks. And the best way to do that is through charter, because you're chartering a plane for a specific business trip or a specific personal event. The bill comes, you know what it's going to be. You get acclimated to that level of spending for that level of flexibility and luxury of personal transportation. And if you like it, then as you need more of it, you can go into jet cards, you can go into fractional ownership, or you can go into whole aircraft ownership.
And what briefly is the advantage of the jet card over the charter?
The jet card gives you a standard level of service with a major fractional provider, usually. Not always, but usually. So it's a newer airplane typically, it's operated to a higher standard, it has a nicer interior, maybe nicer catering, and greater availability.
And
sometimes.
is there a usage where people start moving from charter into the jet cards? I mean, is there, at what point?
You can buy jet cards with as little as 10 hours on them if you want. Typically it's about 25 hours a year. Okay. At that point, it makes sense to move into a jet card if you want that standardization of service.
Is there anything else regarding the advantages of actual ownership? I mean, for example, we've talked about depreciation.
Sure, absolutely. You know, you can depreciate the asset. There's bonus depreciation that applies to many different investments. That may be made permanent. Congress is considering that right now, which allows you to deduct the majority of that asset's value early on in the depreciation cycle.
Mark, thanks again for showing up.
Thank you, Richard.